Hi guys, welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, Curse of Strahd, Dungeons and Breakfast. Sorry, it's Dungeons and Breakfast. There's no dragons here. It's just breakfast, or maybe it's dragons having breakfast. One of the two. Sorry for the wait. If anybody was waiting on this, it took a little bit, but we're finally here. Deadly, you wrote a waiting for waffles song while you were waiting.
I'm waiting for waffles. I don't know the song anymore. The lyrics were improvised because I was bored. Because I was waiting for waffles.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, perfect. And that's the stream. I guess yeah, we'll reconvene next week,
Yeah,
and
we'll all catch everyone later.
I hope you have a good one, guys.
But nothing that we do is going to top that this today. Congratulations, Deadly. You outdone everyone.
Wow.
All right, guys. Let's just jump right into it. Let's go. Let's just start this thing up.
Recap. Oh, before we do that, Chachi, just quick information. Due to my bot just being an absolute bitch to you whenever you try to put the multi-twitch in my chat, just use exclamation multi. I
Gotcha.
set that up just for you, Chachi.
Yeah, there you
Because
go.
I like to share around all those that we're shooting with,
Yes,
so I can't
thank
help
you,
it.
Chachi. Yeah, just go around and be like multi-twitch, multi-twitch, multi-twitch.
Yes.
Okay. So, last time your group had found themselves trapped in this manor. You guys have been going throughout this entire manor trying to find some way to escape. You tried the windows, they've all been bricked up somehow, mystically, magically. The doors sealed up after you entered, and you entered the third floor of the mansion. Eventually, coming to the ghosts of two small children, you were pointed in the direction of a secret entrance to the bottom of the mansion, wherein you discovered a labyrinth like maze of earthen passages and strange ritualistic devices. And you guys began to crawl through this dungeon like basement of the manor, moving ever further towards a chanting echo that called to you or annoyed the heck ever living heck out of you. One of the two.
Yep.
He is ancient. He is the land, they called as you went farther and farther down. Eventually, you guys went back upstairs, actually, and were possessed by the ghosts of Rose and Thorn, Thurxora and Gwyn, both of you becoming possessed. By the way, guys, that reminds me, we don't have Gwyn here today, unfortunately. Tama's been having a rough week, so I will be puppeting Gwyn for this session, unfortunately. Everybody give Tama your love. She's had a really rough week, so message her, be like, "Hey Tama, we're all here for you," and give her some love. She's been having a rough.
We love you, Tama.
So I told her she could take a break for today and not worry about it. You guys were possessed by the spirits of Rose and Thorn, went back downstairs, encountered these voices, and it turns out they had been guarding some sort of ritualistic altar in the basement. Upon stepping onto the altar and attempting to appease these spirits, Thurxora tried to display their master, what you assume was their master, a statue that you had found, but to no avail. A strange flesh mass like creature appeared to attack your group. You guys managed to dispatch this creature, after which the house started shaking and rumbling as you guys traveled back upstairs to see what had transpired. You stopped on the way to discover what you assume to be some sort of burial chamber for Rose and Thorn, left open and unoccupied. Going upstairs, you discovered that the room you had entered from was covered in a thick fog of dense black smoke pouring from the heated oven in the middle of the room. And you heard a noise. Looking to your left, you saw that the doorway was no longer a door. It had been changed into a strange blade-like pendulum, swinging back and forth where once was a door. And that's where we left off. Give me a sec. Let me get some music to set the mood.
Oh, the good music.
Feel like we should be pulling some Prince of Persia shit. Who can slow down time? I'm like, I've seen these things in Prince of Persia. They always killed me.
Immortal typed in chat. Today your party's fighting a mountain. Roll initiative. Get ready for mountain fight, guys. You guys are literally fighting a house. Roll initiative for house.
I would rather fight a mountain than try and get to anything dex-based.
Okay.
This could be interesting. Deadly.
So-
How much pressure can Mage Hand handle?
My
Nah,
idea actually was to try to maybe push something in between to see if we can somehow get it stuck.
So the smog is choking. It is impossibly hard to breathe in here. You would have to hold your breath or try and attempt to breathe in the smog while you're in here.
Well, first of all, we should maybe get rid of that fire.
It doesn't seem to be a fire as far as you can tell. It is just smog coming from this heater in the middle of the room.
Okay, Thuxora is gonna basically try to hold her breath as good as she can and make her way around the wall on this side because she remembers there's a window down there.
Okay.
Trying to check if she can maybe open or break the window and if the brick wall is still there.
You go to smash the window and you dash across the room. I'm actually gonna have you guys roll initiative for me so that we can keep track of your initiative as you go through this smoggy house with the swinging pendulums and all that kind of stuff. Just to make sure, just because every round that you spend in this room is gonna be not fun for you. So let me add you guys to the turn order and then you guys can roll initiative. And I will have to do that for Gwyn as well. And, well, your doggy actually doesn't have to roll initiative because he doesn't have to breathe.
Lucky doggy.
So Faxes doesn't have to roll. Okay. I need Gwyn's stats. I should look at those. Let me pull up Gwyn's stats real quick. All right, Gwenora. No.
She has a 0 modifier on initiative.
0 modifier. Okay, that makes it easy. She got an 11. Guinevere, there she is. Alright, so she's 11. What is yours, Lily?
19.
19 for Lily. Botak?
5.
5. Dexora?
10.
10. Okay. And then we do this. Alright, so Thurxora, we'll start the round from Thurxora's 10. We'll just start it from there because Thurxora ran across the room to open this window. And you go and run to this window. And how are you trying to break it? Did you just throw open the shades to see what was on the other side, or did you just like throw a chair at it or something?
I would probably throw a chair at it. Because
Okay.
there's a brick wall and there's a brick wall behind it, but
Well, good news for you. There's plenty of chairs in the room for you to grab because this was a room full of furniture and such covered in blankets before. The blankets are now gone. So you grabbed the chair. You chucked it at the window. Roll a strength throw for chair chuck.
the strength. That is an 18.
18. All right. You throw the chair. It shatters a window and seems to disappear through the curtains. You hear the sound of wind suddenly blow the curtains open, revealing a smashed pane glass window. And you hear outside, far below, a cracking sound of a chair hitting ground.
Ooh.
There seems to be no bricks in the window.
Okay, that's good.
The air billows throughout the room, partially relieving this heavy, dense smog that had filled the entire room. You guys are safe from the smog damage this round.
Yes.
What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? It is Botak's turn, actually. Yeah, we'll just go through the initiative. Botak, what are you doing?
Let's see. We probably want to try and stop the swinging blades of, death and doom. So, what's the biggest furniture in this place? It's probably not wooden.
Biggest furniture would be a large couch that sits in the middle of the room. Or are you talking about furniture that you can throw?
Not throw, no.
Okay.
I'm
Yes,
thinking
there's.
about pushing this couch into the doorway and trying to stop the blade.
Okay. Okay, so yes, there is a large, very dusty, very moldy, very smelly couch that sits in the middle of this room.
Okay. I'll push it right to the doorway.
You're gonna push it? Is it just gonna be you? Actually,
Yeah, why not?
you know what? Gwyn is actually gonna come over and help you push it. It's gonna help you push the couch. Lily, are you doing anything while they do that?
I can try and give him a hand.
Okay, all three of you are gonna push the couch. All right. I will say whichever of the three of you wants to roll the dice. So we'll have Gwyn roll the dice, and then either Botak or
roll.
Lily. can roll a strength check to push this couch.
I'll do the roll. Let's go straight.
Okay, you're gonna do it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
shouldn't be me. I have minus freaking strength.
Gwyn rolled an 8. Plus 3, though, so that's 11. What did you get, Botak?
Voltec has got an 18.
18. All right. Yes, that is plenty enough to push this couch. It is not extremely heavy. I didn't put the DC very high for this. So you guys managed to get behind this couch. And you hear this grating noise as it scroots across the floor. You try and fit it into the doorway. It is just wide enough to fit in. You push it in place. The pendulum. And as the couch hits the doorway, continues to hit the side of it over and over repeatedly. It does seem to be chipping away at it.
Okay. Guys, if we want to get out of this room without being hit by a blade, now would be the best time. The blade seems to be starting to smack away at the couch. It's probably going to cut through it sooner or later.
Guys, I have another idea.
What's the idea?
If I remember the layout of this house correctly, under this window there should be a little balcony. Maybe we can make our way there.
Okay. You want to like crawl down the side of the house?
That's what we have ropes for.
If you peer out of the window, you can look below, and you do see where the chair had splintered through the side of the balcony and kind of off of it. It kind of went through a railing down there. There's chunks of chair like in between the railing of the balcony on the first floor below you guys.
I assume they are mixed up with the chunks of the door that we broke 3 sessions ago.
They
So
are
that led to
indeed.
the
Yes, you
balcony.
see chunks of the door that had kind of fallen through. They didn't really explode outward because it was bricked up at that point, but they kind of are laid in a heap down there where the door used to be. Again, where the door is, downstairs in the balcony, as you peer over, you see a swinging pendulum of blades.
How long are the ropes that we have?
If you have rope that starts in your pack, you start with 50 feet. We've used up some rope. Probably got, I don't know, it depends who else has got it. I've got about 40 feet's worth of rope left.
I got 50 still.
Yeah, because if I just do this math, I assume this goes down approximately 15 feet because it's a floor, and from there we would need to get 2 further floors down, which would be additional 30 feet. So 45 feet of rope in total. Waffle, is that calculation roughly correct?
To get to the balcony below you?
No, to the balcony I would assume roughly 15 feet because it's just one floor.
Yes.
And then there's 2 more floors that we would need to get down from the balcony if
Actually-
we climb down the house on the outside.
Second floor is only 10 feet, so you would only need 10 feet of rope for the
Okay, so
the
that
balcony.
way we would have more than enough because 10 feet down to the balcony, additionally 2 floors, which would be additional 20 feet, so 30 feet total. Quick math.
So you would have to get
could-
down onto the balcony and then go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you could totally do that. Yes, if you wanted to. It's going to take some time. There is sharp glass covering the window, so you would have to take the time to either clear the glass from the window or just say screw it and jump through. You also are going to have to tie the rope to something.
What worries me is if those blades are on every door.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Let me
In which case
run
it
a
might
check.
be easier to just try and make our way back to the main staircase and down through that.
Here, I got an idea. Let me make a check. So if I jump and roll out there and go see if there are more blades everywhere, then we'll go out the window.
Good idea.
Okay.
jump through the couch.
All right, you jump through the couch. So Therxora's turn is over. Botak, you jump past the couch and you go into the hallway. You don't see swinging pendulums on the doors to your left. Both of the doors to the guest bedroom and Rose and Thorn's room seem to be clear of swinging blade-like pendulums.
Well, so far there's no swinging blades. I've got to check the door to the downstairs.
The door to the downstairs does have a swinging pendulum.
Okay. The door downstairs does have another pendulum.
You do notice that out here it is much easier to breathe. The smoke and fog doesn't seem to be reaching these outer areas as well.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Okay, so this might be a good idea, might be a bad idea. We don't know. That furnace is, if there's a leg that we can tie it to, the rope will be perfect for that, because you know it's made of metal. It's a lot heavier.
That is true.
So that's something to tie it to. I can't go any further for a turn, at least.
Okay. Lily, what are you doing? It's the top of the round. The pendulum hacks more at the couch. It seems to be making slow progress. It doesn't seem to be... It seems like it's gonna be a while for it to go through the couch because I rolled horribly on my dice. So it's gonna be a little bit before that pendulum actually makes it through the couch. So you have a bit of time. But the smog, however, you feel like the wind isn't going to keep this smog at bay as the wind kind of dies down from that initial burst of blowing air from the original cracking open of the window.
There's a part of me that thinks that I don't know. Still bodies disturbed. I don't feel right leaving the kids on the floor in their bedroom when they should be in their graves.
I'm
I suppose we don't
with
have
you on
much
that one.
choice. No.
Botak,
Yeah?
can you grab the kids and bring them in here again? Then we can
That's a good point. I could run
bring them down
first.
and then
Yeah.
escape through the window.
We could try.
It's definitely better than trying to find a couch for every trapped doorway that we want to go through.
That's a very
True.
good point. Okay, let's do it.
Botak, Lily, you take care of the kids. I'm gonna take Gwen and we're gonna set up the ropes, I guess.
Yes. Okay. All right. Lily is gonna jump through with Botak to go
Okay.
gather the bones of the children.
All right. Easy enough. You don't have to make a roll because the pendulum is blocked, so you're all good. You
Peekaboo.
rush into the room and grab the two skeletons of the two small children lying in the center of their room. It's hard to pick them up and hard to carry them, but they seem to be pretty intact. They're still wearing this tattered clothing. The same clothing that you had seen on Rose and Thorn in their ghostly form. However, much older and much more worn, eaten away by moths. You scoop it into your arms, and you can use the rest of your movement however far you want to go with them. I don't know how far you moved. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I would say you're
So with Botak, I suppose.
you'd be about at Botak's area.
30,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
That's okay. You can
Yes,
land on
I will
Botak.
pass off some of the bones to Botak.
Okay, you will chuck the children to Botak.
Well, no, not all of them, just some.
Take these kids!
Some each. I'll take the bigger
Here,
bit.
take the
Give
children!
Botak the
Here,
little one.
Botek, take a leg.
Yeah, have a leg, Botak.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh God.
This was not what I imagined having kids was like.
Generally, I mean, Botak, you're used to handling undead and disturbing, remains of people and stuff like that. So it's not totally new concept to you. Gwyn is going to go over there and is going to help you tie the rope. She's going to take a part of your rope, Therxora, and rush over to the heater and begin tying the rope to the foot of the heater and securing it on there. She doesn't have to roll for that. I mean, I assume all your characters know how to tie knots. So she managed to tie it pretty tightly, you'd say. And she kind of just thumbs up to you through the smog. Therxora, what do you want to do? Botak just got boned. Well played, Little Blue.
He now is Bone Tag.
Bone tack.
Dang it.
Bone tack sounds like a medieval food, like somebody would use for rations back in the day. Like, all we've had to eat is gruel and bone tack for the past 3 weeks.
Where's
Is
the
Gwyn
meat?
done tying the knot already, or is she still?
Yeah,
actively-
it's not too complicated to tie a
Okay.
pretty decent knot.
I'm gonna take one of the blanket, sheet covers, whatever,
Okay.
and I'm gonna run over here and toss it over the furnace.
Okay.
We're attempting to minimize the spread of the smoke.
Okay. You grab one of the sheets, passing by the dead corpse in the chest to your left, the corpse of the nursemaid. You throw the blanket over the furnace in an attempt to try and slow the smog down a little bit. It does seem to buy you a little bit of time as the smoke slowly it stops for a moment as it tries to billow out from underneath the white blanket covering it. So you bought yourself another round of smogless room. And we'll go to Botak with the 2 children. The bodies of the kids.
Parkour, let's go!
Parkour. Yeah, you managed to go through the pendulum because you blocked it with a couch, which was a pretty good move. It's taken a while to get through that couch, so you managed to go through. Don't have to roll a check or anything, and you run over to the stairwell that leads you down into the basement of the house.
Alright, we're gonna head down there with the body that I have.
Okay, so Botak is gone. Botak has disappeared into the stairwell. Are you guys all following Botak? Are you just gonna follow Botak downstairs, or are you gonna do something else?
I'm going to help take the
Yeah.
kids.
Same
Okay.
here.
Okay. So if you all follow Botak, you don't have to. You're all good. We don't have to keep track of the turn order. If everybody just follows Botak, including the doggo, including Sophaxis, who goes downstairs and descends back down into the basement. Ironically enough, the basement seems to be absent of any new devices or traps or snares or smog swinging pendulums, anything like that. You guys are actually right. You guys are... I'll set your tokens up right. So, Botak, Gwyn. All right.
So Faxes and Lily just disappeared in the darkness.
They're gone. Lily died on the way down. Super trap! Pendulum suddenly attacks you, Lily. You're gone. No, you're all good. I'll just assume this is all kind of just visual. You don't have to worry about it too much. Botak, you have the bodies. What are you doing with them?
Bone Tech? Chachi?
Bonetak?
You're muted.
Bonetak, you're muted.
I did, Eugene. I am apologizing. I am going to take the bigger skeleton, which I assume will be Rose, and put that in Rose's coffin, and
Okay.
then put the other one in to Thorin's.
You go to put the corpse into the coffin, but it is a large stone sarcophagus. It's gonna take some work lifting the lids off of these sarcophagi. This is a huge stone tablet on top of this sarcophagus. So it's gonna take a little bit of extra effort to lift up.
No
I'll
big
bring
deal.
the two other.
Sounds
Lily,
like a job
Sorry,
for
you're
Gwyn and
here.
Botak.
So Botak has the two skeletons in his arms. Gwyn is gonna offer. She's gonna be like, I can try and lift the sarcophagus door if you want.
Let's lift together.
Okay, you set the so you're gonna set the children down and then try and lift the sarcophagus. All right.
Yes.
All right. Roll a strength check.
Yeah. No.
Oh no! What did you get?
3.
Oh. Well, luckily Guinevere rolled enough. Guinevere rolled a 14. You both try and heave and hoe, and Botak, you're trying your best, but you don't seem to be giving it much way. However, Guinevere, in her massive dragonborn form, slides the door off of this huge sarcophagi. It lands next to it with a thud, kicking up dirt all over the place. This dust covers the room.
But, gonna lay Rose's body in there as neatly as I can.
As you go to lay the body in the coffin, Gwyn clutches her chest for a moment and kind of bends over. She seems to be in some kind of pain. But do you do anything?
Gwen, are you alright? Something the matter?
I don't know. There's something hurts. I think it's Rose. But I'm not sure. She kind of just continues to clutch her chest. We should close the sarcophagus.
All right. On 3.
You guys grab the sarcophagus door. I won't make you roll a strength check again because you already passed it. And drag it on top. The dust fills the room once again as it closes shut. Suddenly, Gwyn is nearly catapulted backwards. She kind of falls down as a wisp of light shoots out from her. Standing before you, Botak and Gwyn, Rose looks around. Where am I? I thought I was following you. What happened?
First check to see if Gwen is all right. Okay to see you.
Gwyn is sitting on the ground, kind of clutching her chest, but she kind of nods to you that she's okay.
Well, Rose, we've found basically your tomb, where you and your family have been put to rest. At least your other family members have. We're going to be leaving soon, so we're going to be putting you and Thorn back to your graves.
She looks kind of confused for a moment. And she looks around. Where's Thorn?
He is in the next area over.
I'm not leaving without Thorn.
Don't worry. We'll go get him.
Okay. You go. Are you going into the next? You're going to put Thorn in the other sarcophagus then?
Yeah.
All right. You and Gwyn both go to the next sarcophagus. Gwyn seems to be pretty out of energy. She has been drained as the ghost that left her sapped her of strength. She's going to be rolling strength check at disadvantage unless somebody else wants to do it.
Can she just give me advantage on my roll?
She can help you and give you advantage if you want to try that. That's totally fine.
Yeah. Let me try doing that.
She's going to do her best to try and help you lift the lid off the sarcophagus. All right. I will. Oh, I don't have to roll actually. You roll with advantage. That's right.
It'd be 18.
18. You guys both managed to lift the lid off the sarcophagus together. It seems empty. A dust-filled, empty stone chamber.
All right. Here you go, Thorn. You two should rest easy here. Just lay skeleton as neatly as it can down.
You lay the skeleton into the sarcophagus. And as you do, Therxora, you feel a deep pain within you from inside your chest, from a part of you. It doesn't feel like it's some specific organ hurting or anything like that. This is a pain that is difficult to perceive. It seems to be hurting your entire body. It just seems to be escalating all over, and it just throbs throughout you. It continues to go, but there's no change other than that. What are you guys doing?
Did I not see Thorn then?
Not yet, but you haven't closed the sarcophagus lid.
Great. I guess we'll close that lid because it's
Okay.
exactly what happened last time.
The dust emanates throughout the room as you close the sarcophagus lid. Thurxora, you feel a force hit you in a wave, and you are knocked to the ground as a light is forcibly exited from your person. You see Thorn.
Wow.
Whoa! you get knocked backwards in like a comical like cartoon style roll.
Yeah, follow us like this.
Thorin stands at the intersection and kind of like looks around. Where am I? He says, for the first time you've actually heard him talk.
Guess I'll go talk to him since the others seem to be having some problems.
He's right in front of you, Thurxora.
You're in the basement, Thorn. Just follow me. She stands up and walks over this way.
Thorn kind of like looks around and
We are gonna go to Rose, don't worry.
begins to follow you. His ghostly form, still walking, not like floating like a ghost probably could. Just walking normally. He is following you as you see directly in the intersection as you approach it. Rose is standing there. Thorn! I'm glad you're okay. It looks like we aren't going to be able to follow them anymore. Thorn.
No, that's the wrong way to see it. That's the wrong way to see it. You're gonna go to a place where we cannot follow you. But it's a pretty place, and you will be able to meet all your friends and your family there.
Rose glances to you for a moment, looks at Thorn. She takes Thorn's hand in hers, and Thorn, as he's always done, holds onto her hand and just looks at you pensively. Are Mommy and Daddy gonna be there too?
If you want them to be, yes.
I do believe so.
Did you hear that, Thorn? We get to see him again. Thorn turns to Rose and, for the first time you've seen, kind of smiles a little. We've been here such a long time. I don't know what we're gonna do. Thank you. As she looks up to you and says this, Lily, you're kind of standing in between Thurxora and the other side of the children. You see pop up directly in front of you. You're kind of taken aback all of a sudden as the shadows of the room begin to coalesce into a single point in front of you. They begin to expand from this point on the ground. forming into a dark figure. Same as the shadows that you had seen before. What are you guys doing?
Lily is going to try and like stare it down as much as you can stare down a shadow form.
Welcome to my world.
Who are you?
Botak's gonna have one hand on his weapon just in case.
Okay. You guys prepare for anything as this dark, shadowy figure appears behind Rose and Thorn. It seems to be facing you, Lily. Addressing your comment, it seems to turn towards you. Rather than a dark, hooded figure, this one seems a little different than the others. You can see clearly it has the features of a man, though they are very heavily cast in shadow. They're hard to make out, but you can just barely see the thin outline of a mustache and maybe some relatively handsome features. He seems to be wearing a regal, flowing garb of some sort. There is no voice, just silence as the figure bows to you very deeply. Rose and Thorn turn around, noticing this figure. Daddy! Both of them run towards him. And the shadowy figure turns around as well, crouching down. And though the movements are hard to perceive, this is a strange creature that as it moves, you kind of see the shadows of the room coalesce into a certain point, kind of just flowing to a different point in time, as opposed to a smooth movement. You see the figure bend down, outstretch his arms, and both Rose and Thorn embrace them. Daddy, are you coming with us? You see the shadowy figure shake its head. But what are we going to do without you? The figure reaches out, seems to comb a hand through her hair, pats her on the head. Thorn as well. Is Mommy gonna be there? The figure doesn't seem to make any sound, movement. You guys don't hear anything. But suddenly, Rose jumps up excitedly. Did you hear that, Thorn? We're gonna see Mommy again. Thorn looks happy. He smiles, clutching the doll tightly to his chest. Did you hear that? He turns around to Rose turns around to both you, Thurxora, and Botak. He said we're gonna get to see her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for you.
That's really great. Could you do us one little favor? Could you maybe ask him if there's anything else we need to do in this house to help you all rest?
Rose turns around. The figure stands up tall, looks between you all for a moment. You see this strange blur of movement as the shadows kind of move and coalesce into what seems to be him looking back and forth between all of you. Rose turns back to you. He says he can show you a way out. But don't worry about him. He says we're all that matters.
We would really like you to show us a way out if you know one.
You see the shadowy figure slightly seem to nod, though it's hard to make out. He says he knows a way.
Is he sure that we cannot help him now that the two of you are safe?
You see the shadowy figure as it turns to you, Lily, raise up a hand and shake its head.
She just nods and doesn't say anything else, just kind of gives him a little knowing bow.
Behind you, Lily, you suddenly hear a as this strange undead dog that had been following you around, Sophaxis, kind of moves towards the shadow creature and begins to wag its tail, its bony, fleshless tail, and kind of, it seems to be very excited and begins running around the shadow. The shadow bends down, pats the dog on the head a little bit, gives it a hug. The dog sits in place beside his master.
Aw, the feels. I'm glad we didn't have to murder the dog. Sorry.
Wow.
Can you murder a dead dog? Who knows?
We'll find out.
Time to find out. Hi, Tama. Welcome. Hi. Oh, I see a Tama there.
I'm gonna go back.
Tama, you don't have to watch Tama. Trust me, your character is in the best of hands, Tama. I'm definitely not making you do weird things. Tama all of a sudden starts doing I'm a Little Teapot out of nowhere. Like in the middle of this heartwarming, you have no idea what's happening to Tama.
Who's Tama?
I mean, Gwyn.
Don't worry, we totally didn't do weird things with your underwear yet.
That's right, you still have Oh god. Oh no.
That is going to come back at some point, isn't it? In some sort of epic amazingness, we're going to pull off Gwen's underwear. I can see the cogs turning in Deadly's brain every time a new situation comes up. Can I use Tama's underwear? Can I use Gwen's underwear to solve this?
Oh, Arya, I have a list of things that I could do with this underwear. I'm just waiting for a good opportunity where it will completely kill the mood to whip out this Dragonborn underwear, being like, hey, look what I got here.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Oh, I don't want to think about Dragonborn underwear right now. This is...
I'm with waffles.
Oh.
You're going to break waffles. It's going to be amazing.
The shadowy figure stands with his wholesome family looking at you all. Undead dog and his two ghost children. You see Rose and Thorn look to him briefly, then back to you all. Thank you for everything. Daddy says we have to thank you.
You're welcome, little ones. We do what we can to help.
I can't wait to see Mommy again.
Make sure you give her a big hug.
Oh,
If there is. Yes?
before we go, Daddy said, check the desk in his office
Which
again.
Oh,
He said there's something there.
Does he have any advice on how to get past all of the swinging blades that seem to have been in our way? It's not exactly safe in the house.
Rose kind of nods her head. He says he can show you,
Okay.
but he says we have to hurry up. There's not much time. She takes
And if we're all
Thorn's
done
hand.
here,
Both her and Thorn bow. We'll tell Mommy all about you. Come on, Thorn. Bye, Sophaxis. The dog kind of turns to them, gives them a wet lick of its undead tongue. Thorn actually laughs for the first time since you've seen him. Come on, Thorn. She grabs his hand. Their forms seem to fade into a mist, leaving your group and the shadowy figure.
bye, little ones. But that she's waving bye-bye.
The figure turns to you all, nods its head, and points in a direction down the hallway towards the room with the table that you had passed by earlier.
Thurxora is gonna take the
This
lead
table
and
or
start
that
marching
table?
off.
This table to the east, or to the west.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, Thurxora is gonna take a big step over Botek. I'm sorry. No, she's gonna walk past Botek, and be like, sure, thank you for showing us the way. Where now?
You turn around to go talk to him, and the figure is gone. Wondering where he's at, you kind of turn around again and look around. Your glowing skull lighting the way throughout this earthy, dark lit area. You see the figure appear again at the other side of the chamber to the west and points down the path.
Okay. She follows the path further.
Again, the figure appears in front of you at the intersection, pointing towards the room where you had seen the statue of the gaunt figure before.
Doop-de-doop-de-doo.
As you enter this room, you see the shadowy figure standing exactly where Botak is standing right now, actually. Hold on, let me scroll down so you guys can see on the stream where they're at. The shadowy figure is standing right there. He reaches out his arm as he faces you. You see the wall of the room begin to lift on the east side. Revealing a staircase, dusty, full of earth, carved from stone, leading upwards. The figure bows to your group and kind of gestures in emotion to the staircase.
Thank you, sir. And Thuxora bows as well.
Yeah, Lily does too.
Same with Botek.
Up we go then.
You all bow, and suddenly, the shadows of the room seem to return to different spots where they had previously not been, as the figure dissipates. Sophaxis,
Interesting being.
who had been following the whole time, kind of looks around, whimpers a little bit. And then runs off down a corridor to your west, towards where the room he had originally been.
Hey,
Thank you for the help, doggo.
He bolts off.
Guess it's time for us to move on.
what about that desk that he told us to... The kid said to check.
Yes, I'm not sure where this will bring us out. If it brings us out in the lower part of the house, then maybe we can check it. But we should at least see where this goes.
Yeah.
But yes, I think we should check it. There must be something important.
All
I'll
right.
go
I'll
first.
go up. We'll take...
All right. You guys go up the stairwell. It ends in a ladder leading up to a trap door that is clearly not seen use in a very long time. You see a latch locking it, and you unlock it. It shrieks almost as you try to lift it up. It takes a little bit of force, nothing that requires a strength check or anything like that, but it's enough to make you kind of have to as you lift it up. And you are met with another scene of billowing smoke, but this is a different room. You... Hold on, let me get you guys to where you're supposed to be. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ba-ba-ba. Lily, you are... Go on, where are you? Where's your character model? There it is. Lily, you find yourself in the hunting parlor where you had first entered the house from. The room is shadowed and dark, covered in this smog that is billowing from the fireplace. And you look to your left, and you see right there, snarling at you, one of the stuffed wolves, or what had been previously a stuffed wolf, glaring at you, snarling, fully animated and alive. What do you do?
I'm gonna throw a firebolt in its face while yelling, "Those stuffed wolves aren't so stuffed anymore!"
All right, you throw a firebolt. Roll for firebolt.
24.
24. Okay, that's definitely gonna hit. Roll damage.
Which one's my D10? That one. 6.
6. Okay, you do 6 damage to the wolf. It kind of yelps out as a bolt of fire is flung into its face. Flames lick across its snout, and it kind of juts back in a second in a yelp. What do you do besides that? Are you moving, or are you?
She is gonna jump up and into the room, up into this spot, so that people can get up the ladder behind her.
I'm gonna keep your previous initiatives, starting from Lily. The wolf's gonna be added. All right, he's at 12. I'm not gonna add him to the tracker right now because it's too much work. But he's at 12, so you get a surprise round on him. Gwyn's going to. If you're going up from the trap door, Gwyn's gonna follow behind you and appear at the bottom and make a swing at this wolf as she comes up, while the wolf is stunned. Oh, she definitely hits it. She's gonna absolutely clobber this wolf. Absolutely destroy it. Let's see what she does. Wow, she gets a D8 plus 3. Whoa. God, fighters are good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's not a D8. There's a D8. She does maximum damage to it. She comes out of this this trap door ready and waiting for this wolf. As the wolf snarls and snaps at her, Gwyn takes her massive hammer, BAM! And just clobbers it right across the snout. You see blood splatter against the wall as the wolf yelps, slams against the wall, and is unconscious or dead. Yeah, that was a very quick round. Okay, well then. Anyways, it's okay, battle over. The room is covered in smog. You look to where the previous 2 stuffed wolves had been. They're still stuffed. They're sitting there in poses that are intimidating and threatening. They don't seem to be moving, as far as you can tell through this smog.
Gwen, keep an eye on those. I'm gonna see if I can throw one of these chairs through the window. The same as we did upstairs.
Okay.
I'll also attempt to just open it.
But it's more fun to try and throw a chair through it.
It is actually Thurxora's turn.
Oh.
We're still
well,
gonna
then
keep
fine.
initiative. You hear the swinging blades of definitely the door is a swinging blade yet again.
Yeah, Thuxora is gonna, here's my token. Walk up to one of the windows, walk through the remains of the wolf, and try to open the window.
Okay. You try and unlatch the window, and the window slides up. A breeze gusts through the room. You look outside briefly, and it seems to be some time of day outside. You're not sure what exactly. The colors of the light are muted, and there's clouds across the whole sky. But it is daylight. The wind blows through the area, clearing the smoke for a brief moment. What's your guys' passive perception?
Oh.
14.
14 with Botech.
Okay, Botak is
14.
14. Okay, you all have 14 passive perception. That's enough. Everybody who's in the room, you see in the corner a shadowy figure. The same one that you had seen before. Kind of hiding through the smoke. It's hard to make it out, but you're pretty sure that you see it as the wind kind of clears out the smoke in the room. The figure stands in the corner. He seems to be next to a sconce on the wall. And he motions towards it with his hand. What are you guys doing? Botak, it's your turn. It's technically your turn. You've lost your token, but I have it here.
Someone
I knew
pull
where it
that
was.
thing, maybe?
Botak, can you reach?
Oh,
Take a chair if you
Okay.
need to.
All right.
let's
Botak
see.
goes. What are you doing?
Where exactly was it?
It was
Like,
on
what part of the room?
It was on the eastern wall. Right over here. Right right by where that wall is.
Okay. I'm assuming it's not lit.
It is not lit. All the lights in the area are off, and that's kind of what makes it hard to see in this area, is that the only illumination is from the skull that Thorxora is carrying as a source of light. Assuming you keep I'm going to assume you keep casting the cantrip on the skull
yes,
to make
I
sure
am.
it's lit up.
I am.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to be known as the crazy bard that ran around with a fucking glowing skull everywhere.
Even with your dark vision, Botak, it is hard to make out what is smoke and what is not. Your dark
worries.
vision doesn't exactly give you a lot of leeway to discern what dark is what.
No worries.
But the light definitely helps.
I'm going to take out one of my torches and light the thing, and then jump off the wolf and light the sconce.
Okay. You light the sconce, and you jump off the wolf, and you go to light the sconce. It's a lit sconce. Lights up the room a little bit, but nothing happens.
Gesture towards it. Okay. Second, jumping off of the wolf, I'm going to grab onto the sconce and try and pull it.
Okay, you grab onto the sconce. It seems to give way. It kind of burns a little bit because it's lit. As you grab onto it with your hand.
Hot, 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 hot.
But it does give way. You see the wall behind the wolf kind of open up. And you see a chamber underneath what would have been the stairwell outside. As you can see the ceiling of this small chamber is the ceiling of it is marred. It is the shape of the same steps that are above you. It is essentially almost a closet underneath the stairwell. But there is a desk there. There is a chair and a strange bookshelf. A bookshelf filled with all sorts of odd-looking books and texts and papers. Spilled ink is on the floor, covering the ground in a dark stain. The floorboards and everything is rotted, and there are cobwebs everywhere in here. Seems to be a pretty cramped space, but it seems to be an office of some sort.
Ah, my arch enemy, the chair. I'm gonna go to the desk
Arch enemy, the
and
secret doors.
I'm gonna see if any of the desk parts, drawers open up.
Okay, let me double check what's in there. Hold on. No, that's not the right place. Where is it? Where's my notes? Where's my notes? Hold on, I'm having some trouble finding it. Ah, there it is. Okay. You check the desk. Roll, because you're looking for something and you know that there's something here, roll investigation with advantage because you know that there's something that you're supposed to be finding in here. It just seems to be kind of papers and there's all sorts of stuff strewn inside of the desk.
I rolled double 13, so I have 15.
15 is good. You find quickly and as you're doing this, the room is becoming, as you open the door, the fresh air kind of fresh. I use fresh in quotes because it is nasty, moldy air, but it is better than breathing the smog. But the smog begins to slowly fill the room as you're looking around. You find 3 rolled up pieces of parchment that look particularly interesting. They are much newer looking than all the old documents inside of the desk. You see a very official looking deed that kind of stands out from the rest of them. It's got a stamp on it. A stamp of a strange bat-winged creature. You see a sealed letter in an envelope as well. That's it.
Gonna yoink all of those.
You yoink them all. You just yoink all the papers.
All the new documents, the letter, the strange note with the bat person on it, everything.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn to everybody else and be like, I think I found what he wants us to find.
That's good. Now, should we maybe get out of here?
Probably yesterday, but yeah, let's go.
I think that's a good idea. Well, hey, Rotek, there don't seem to be any interesting books in there, do there? You know, anything about, folklore, vampires, shadows, anything strange?
I don't really have time to check all too much.
At a brief glance, you can see that the books there aren't easily readable titles actually on they seem to be of an unknown nature. There is one with a strange skull symbol on it on the binding of the book from what you can just see, but that's the only thing that really stands out to you.
All of them look a little bit creepy. One of them looks like it might have like a skull on the binding.
Bring
But other
me
than
that
that-
one. Thank you, Botek.
Yeah, we should probably have a look at it.
I mean, even if it's just a storybook.
Yeah,
It's still
exactly.
nice.
A book's a book. I'll take what I can get.
Same
Let's get
here.
the hell out of this place.
Okay, Botak
like the
grabs the
whole
book,
room
and that's
on fire.
probably the end of his turn, considering he did like 5 actions while he was doing his turn. So, we'll just give him the benefit of the doubt that it was a thing.
Sorry.
So, smog
I like
is
the whole
filling the
room on
room.
fire.
You guys are You guys are finding it hard to breathe. You've got about 1 round as the wind kind of blew through the room, but now it seems to be evening out as the pressure equalized.
Instead
Hey,
of grabbing the book, I just light the whole thing on fire. Just burn all the books.
Just burn it all.
Sora, does it look like we can get out that window?
Does it? Waffles?
It seems to be a shattered window leading to a muted
It's
daylight
not
outside.
shattered. We opened it up. The question is there a
Oh,
drop
that's
below
right.
it?
That's right. You did open it up. Yeah, you can totally climb out the window if you guys want to.
Yeah,
And
it
I
looks good over
guess
here.
Instead of making our way through the proper exit, maybe we just go through here.
Yep.
Lily is just gonna peer through and kind of jump out the window, lower herself down,
Peer through and jump out.
peer through and jump.
Okay.
Oh, flip.
You managed to jump out of the window, doing a flip. Super cool, like, because you can. You do like a combat roll out of the window, like
Just to
Resident
show
Evil
off.
4 style.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. It's pretty cool looking, but
wobbled a
everybody
little
else
bit,
was
yeah,
turned away when you did it, unfortunately, so they didn't see it.
Yeah. I totally did it, guys. I totally did it. She
All right,
kind
Lily is
gets
out
the
of the
way,
building.
Yeah.
You can breathe. Gwyn, it's Gwyn's turn. Gwyn also kind of doesn't do a combat roll out of the window, kind of just much larger, kind of just hops through it, kind of just squeezes through and lands on the other side and joins you, Lily. So she's out.
Thuxora is gonna do the same.
Thuxora does the same. Easy
window.
enough. You managed to join the others on the outside of the window. Botak, you're the only one still in there.
Looking to see if you should actually grab the book. What could go wrong,
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong with grabbing a book with a skull on its spine?
Exactly.
I should really just toss my torch in there and just let it burn. I really should. I'm gonna regret this. I already know I feel like I am. I'll grab the book.
You grab the book. All right, you grab the book with a skull on it. Do you also jump out the window then?
Make a run and dash and go.
Okay, you grab the book,
Forward
tuck it
dive.
underneath your arm with all your other stuff that you grabbed, and do a dash out the window. You manage to do an awesome little gnome combat roll with your full armor. It's not as much of a combat roll considering you have full armor and you kind of just jump out and you do like a Dark Souls kind of thing. You know that thing when they do when they have heavy armor and they kind of just flop on the ground but manage to complete the roll? That's what you do. As you jump out. And you run to the others. You group.
Everyone okay? Everyone can
Mhm.
breathe?
I'm fine.
Everyone's alive.
You see smoke billowing from the windows, in all sorts of places in the house, just sort of leaking out of the cracks of the windows you hadn't opened, and the window you shattered upstairs. There's just a heavy plume of smoke rising into the sky, including the one you just opened. A few seconds after Botak leaps from the window, you hear it. You hear the creaking of wood, the grinding of stone, as the house in front of you begins to shudder and shake.
Guys, maybe we should take a few steps back.
I agree.
Your group backs up away from the house at a pretty decent speed, or however you guys are backing up. I'm assuming it's a decent speed.
Oh yeah. Lydia's keeping a good damn eye on what's happening, but she is bolting it as fast as her legs can take her away from that thing.
Kotak's just doing the moonwalk.
The ceiling above the house, this large, tall, several-story mansion, this almost strangely tall. The dimensions of the house weren't it wasn't built wide, it was built up for some weird reason. The ceiling begins to cave in on itself. Bricks begin to fall out of the third floor, begin to land at the foot of the house. Windows shatter outwards. The house begins to crumble from the top down. Pieces of stone begin flying in several directions. It seems to be a force coming from within the house, not just a steady crumble. It's like the house is exploding, but without the big explosion. It's just pieces of the house begin flying out in several directions as it begins to collapse in on itself and outward. Slowly but surely, the ceiling tumbles in. The third floor, the second floor begins to collapse as well, though less forcefully. The final floor, the bricks fall out of the sides of the buildings. Dust is kicked up throughout the area, making it hard to see, even with this already kind of like you had already seen before. The mist kind of surrounds you in an all-encompassing way. The light of the sky is muted. But as this kicks up dust, it is near impossible to see. And you cough and kind of try to brush the dust out of your way for a few minutes. And after the dust settles, you see before you the crumbled ruins of this mansion. Old, decrepit, decayed, covered in moss, as if it had been here for centuries, as if it had collapsed 50 years ago. Almost as if it had been sitting here for a very long time. No more dust. No fresh pieces of wood splintered from the furniture. Nothing. Just old moss-covered stone.
Lily just looks at it, shakes her head. Fucking magic. And just sighs and kind of sits down. It's like, so,
Well,
what are we doing?
Alright.
that I would ever
Which-
hear a mage say these words. But yeah.
Alright. Which one of you hit the self-destruct beam?
I expect it was when we killed that creature. If that creature was using the house and everything to find victims and feed or whatever was going on with this house, then I assume when we killed it, we killed the illusion.
That is actually a very good point. Luxora checks her pocket of the weird crystal ball and the other stuff that they looted from the house are still there.
What all did you loot from the house?
I know we brought the crystal ball. I know
Says the ball, the
um,
skull.
the ball, the glowing skull. We got the
The stuff we
coat. We
took out
got
the
the
desk.
potions.
The glowing skull,
Um,
as you had left the mansion, crumbled to dust. It began to suddenly rot at an advanced pace and just
Darn.
disappeared. What else did you have?
no, the crystal ball.
The crystal ball still
Yeah, the
seems to
crystal
be
that the statue
intact,
controlled.
but it is much older. It is cracked in places. It seems to be has lost its glimmers, lost the shine that you had seen before.
Okay, the golden ring that we looted.
The golden ring still exists, but it is tarnished and darkened.
I would like to reassess its value.
Hold on, guys! I know we just went through hell, but I am checking the value of this ring. Puts on monocle.
Because that's what's important.
You assume with a little bit of polish, it would probably be worth the same value, but you would definitely have to polish it up
Okay.
ahead of time.
And then there's the stuff.
What about the
from desk.
healing potions that we got?
Yeah.
The potions, though the glass is stained and grubby, the potions still seem to be brightly colored and almost perfectly intact.
Okay,
Nice.
the coat.
The coat as well. The coat, in fact, shows no signs of wear.
And last but not least, you know who we forgot again? Offered. Sophaxis.
So Vax's head
No.
He went back to his room.
He went back to his
ran
room.
off at in the basement.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay. Schmoodle will be so upset.
I know Schmoodle was really attached to Sophaxis. Little Blue says, not the skull. I know, right? The skull, no.
Yeah,
Need to
then
get a new
there's
skull.
the documents and the
Unfortunately.
book.
In before we walk into the next village, murder some random person just to get a new glowing skull.
The pages
I
of the
will
book
not
that
do that.
you hold in your hand, Botak, begin to curl up, age, and become darkened and blackened. The binding of the book begins to tear and show signs of wear, heavy wear. It's still intact, but it's going to be hard to make out the words. The scrolls that you had found, the bound up pieces of parchment, seem to be perfectly intact. Nothing seems to have faded about those. The old document that you had found does begin to shrivel up, brown, and become old and worn. But it seems to be still legible, still easy to read. Seems to be made of better paper than most of the other stuff.
Okay. Well, toss the book over to Lily. Be like, here's your book that you wanted.
Thank you. Zora, we
completely
should
decayed.
study this when we get a chance.
Yeah, we definitely should.
Lily is going to tuck the book away in her bag.
Okay. The letter that you had received, Botak, also kind of curls up, but it doesn't seem to fade as much as the other pieces of paper.
Oh. Just gonna look over everything. The letter. Is it Is it open? Is the seal broken now? Is it open?
Seal
or
is
is it just,
still secured on it.
Okay.
Though, if
I'm
you are you going to
wondering-
try and open the seal?
Yeah, I'm wondering on that if I should or not. So I'm gonna hold off on that for right now and probably just take a look at everything else.
Okay.
So,
What are you looking at specifically?
What else do I have exactly? The documents, the paper for, like, What all do I have exactly in my possession? Because I know I have the letter, the documents, and
You have the
something
letter,
else.
the 3 bound pieces of parchment, and the official looking document, and the book. Although Lily has the book now.
Yeah, I don't care about the book. Book to me just doesn't seem like it was gonna be worth it when it, especially when it withered away like everything.
So you're saying you're not book tech?
Book tack? Oh my god, no. He's
I
bone
am
tack
both-
and book tack.
I am both disappointed and extremely just saddened.
Chachi will remember this.
Botek will remember this.
Botak will remember this.
The big question is just
he's gonna
when
pick
he
one of
remembers,
the
will he
three.
turn into bonk tech?
He's gonna pick one of the 3 documents. He's gonna pick out the middle one, and he's gonna see what it is all about.
The
He's
middle
gonna start.
one of the rolled up pieces of parchment.
Yes.
Okay. Let me double check. You are a paladin, right?
Yes.
You read over it really quick. It seems to be a spell scroll of some sort. It seems to be some sort of magical incantation for the spell Protection from Poison. So it is a spell scroll of protection from poison. So you can mark that down in your inventory.
Waffles, that reminds me, I still have the invisibility scroll laying around in my inventory. Is that gone? Or
You check the scroll, and it seems to not have faded at all. It seems like some
Okay.
sort of magic has protected it from losing its sheen.
okay.
It seems to be perfectly intact.
Protection from poison.
Yep. I'll assume you go through the other 2 as well.
Yeah.
You also have a scroll of Bless and a scroll of... Wow, these are all paladin abilities as well. Nope. Nope. The 3rd scroll you cannot read, Botek.
Okay. Well, just give me a second. So
Let me have a look.
I gotta add this stuff to my thing. That way I don't forget them.
What class are you, Bard? You can't read it
Yep.
either, unfortunately. Actually, I don't think any of you can read it.
Lily!
Lily, are
Let
you...
me have a look. I have access to sorcerer and cleric
You
because
have-
of my wine.
Right. You can use cleric spells. You can read
Yeah.
it. It is spiritual weapon.
Okay. I'll take that then. Yes, because I'm sorcerer and cleric.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. You got double
Not
spells.
well.
You cheated.
I can yeah, I cheated. I picked on both.
Yeah. You've
I
got
have the boom boom
the
and the pew
divine
pew.
soul sorcerer.
Yes. I was so happy when I found that.
Oh man.
Okay, I just was doing the management. So one of them is Scroll of Bless. The other one is Scroll of
Protection from poison.
Protection from Poison.
Yep. And the last one is spiritual weapon, which Lily has. So you can add all those to your inventory.
Thank you.
If he started collecting fingers, he would be called Thumbtack. Poor Botak.
Chachi, we love you.
We love you, Chachi.
I'm not sad. I'm just disappointed.
If he was running through the field and he got a tick on him, he would be Tic Tac. I'm sorry. I had to. I'm sorry.
Botek evolves to
I just
bonk tech
have-
and bonks waffles.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Okay. No, as the DM, I should be better than that. I should not stoop to that level. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right, their craziness has made me forget one of the scrolls. So I have scroll of bless and scroll of
Protection from poison.
poison.
Yes.
Protection. Right.
Well,
Um,
guys, I mean, I'm good at staring at stuff, but what about you? Should we maybe keep going?
Yes, yes. I expect we should probably make our way towards the village. If
Mm,
the Rosenthorn we met that lured us in here were part of the house, then I expect they're well gone by now, so
yep.
we should move
And
on.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong with entering perfectly fine looking signs of civilization, right?
Exactly.
looking about, you can see that it is perhaps the afternoon, but the light is muted and it's hard to tell exactly what time of day it is. The mist, though much thinner than when you had originally arrived, seems to still be there, but you can see much farther ahead than you could before. You'd have to get to some sort of hill or something like that to see exactly how far you have to go, but you do remember it'd be about a half a day's travel to get to the town you had seen off in the distance when you first saw it.
Maybe it would be safer to make camp here for the night and make tracks at first light.
And
Mm,
well, I don't see anything that could possibly go wrong with that. Let's find a good spot and pinch down.
okay.
You're gonna go find a spot to go camp?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As your group turns around to head out, you hear something behind you. The sound of oh.
The sound of silence?
You didn't hear my clapping?
Nope.
Oh, wow. My mic is so good it blocks out the noise. You hear the sound of clapping.
We still
Did you
will
pick that
hear it.
up, Mike?
Yeah.
I
We-
think
The very
No.
you
first
have your
one.
noise cancellation on waffles.
The noise cancellation is amazing on this
Cancellation is
microphone.
Great. Holy crap.
Picks
Did I
up my
get that?
voice.
It's Discord.
I gotta be talking while I clap.
Waffles, you gotta send me where you
Even
got that mic.
then-
I need that mic.
I know, right? Wow. You hear
In a,
a voice followed by this clap. Oh, you survived. That's a new one. You turn around, all of you, to find a man standing there where there was none but a moment ago. He is dressed head to toe in a flowing white robe with gray trim. Strangely immaculate and pristine, given the muddy type of terrain, the wet mud that surrounds the area. Your attention is drawn to the strange mask that obscures his face. Give me a second. Let me get some music here. There we go. There is no hole for the nose or mouth, and it seems to be scratched, cut, and scarred from some sort of blade or claw that was unleashed upon it Where the eyes would be are instead these glowing, ethereal blue holes in the mask with an eerie depth to them. It's hard to make out his body shape with the robes. And the only part of his body that's visible are his pale, pale hands, thin and gaunt. You can't quite make it out, but there seems to be some sort of tattoo on both his palms. His voice seems to resonate clearly, seemingly unhindered by the mask. New souls, caught in the mists once again. More toys for him. Surely you will be interesting. Not many escape the manor. He kind of turns his head back and forth, examining your group.
And who might you be, good sir?
Salask, the Undying, at your service. He bows his head very deeply, almost touching the ground with his mask. At your service, undyingly.
What do your services entail?
My services? Well, I'm here for an inspection. He kind of scratches his mask for a second. Or idle curiosity. Or maybe anticipation, expectation, aspiration. I thought the Inquisition might have been sending more. But it looks like flies to the web yet again. Though I must say, you're a different lot. There is a loud sniffing sound as he raises his head up. His head lowers and he begins to walk closer to you. There is a lithe movement to his gait, much faster than you would expect, and he approaches very close to you. Do you let him approach?
I'm gonna have one hand on my weapon, but gonna let him. I'll let him.
Okay. You guys are going to let him approach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. His mask approaches closer. He kind of seems to lead mask forward as he walks in a strange gait that doesn't seem very human. Lily, he stomps a few feet from you. His mask moves up and down, as if inspecting you. Oh, I smell the taint of the dark powers on you. How intriguing, interesting, exciting. His head jerks to the right as a moment as he turns his attention to you, Thurxora. And you? Oh, I haven't seen one of you for a while. You're an archivist, aren't you? How compelling. How interesting. How exciting. He glances between you all. What brings you here?
Well, it's definitely not sightseeing.
Why don't you take a guess,
Ah,
Mr. Inspector?
yes. You've been caught in a web of mists. A land of curses. A land of death. Well, maybe that's not right. A land of undying, of undeath. His land.
Whose land?
He kind of tilts his head to the side. Oh, a follower of the light, the morning lord. Oh, you'll be an interesting one. Oh, I can't wait. You'll meet him soon enough. I'm sure. He glances up, straightening himself, and looks around. Oh. It seems his eyes are upon us already. I must take my leave. My withdrawal. An exit. A farewell. But not for long. Or maybe forever. Do try your best to stay alive. Soul bearing. Undying. Here's a brief wave of his hand, and suddenly, he vanishes, leaving no trace of himself and your group standing alone in this mist and muted light in front of a collapsed manor.
What an
Okay.
interesting person.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I put him about a 7 for the creepometer.
Nah, maybe a 3.
Oh,
I've
I
seen
don't
worse.
know. Yes, I've definitely seen creepier. Seems to like his riddles. Will be an interesting one. We may get aid from him. Keep an
What kind
eye
of
on.
people have you people seen? Jeez.
I mean, he's honestly, Botek, you have to see it like this. The weirdest people are often the most interesting ones.
Oh,
I would love to sit down with him at night around a campfire and just talk to him about all the stories that he might have to tell, that he might be able to tell.
Sure.
the fact that he
That
said
could
the
be
eyes are already
fun.
upon us worries me, though. Maybe we should try and move, as opposed to.
Hmm. Well, one of two things. Either one, it's not going to matter whether his eyes are on us or not, and we are going to either camp down, or two, still not going to matter because his eyes are already on us. So whatever's seeing us is probably going to either ignore us for now, in some type of welcoming party, maybe?
He referenced us
Or-
as flies in a web. Whoever
Yeah.
this person is, they obviously enjoy playing games. I expect we're relatively safe for now, other than the odd test or two. So it is up to you whether you wish to rest or start to move now and find somewhere to camp later. I wonder whether these ruins may give us a little more shelter.
I mean, take a look at what we've done today. We would jump through places with swinging, uh, you know, sickles and scythes and everything, pendulums, cutting through couches, going through smog infested rooms, having a wolf try to bite us, apparently.
Yes.
Speaking of the wolves,
Have
another reason to not camp out here.
have two ghosts being ripped from your bodies.
Okay, that was fun. I agree, that was actually fun.
That's fun. Okay.
Minus
got
the
it.
intense pain. The absolutely intense
the-
pain.
Absolutely intense amount of pain that it must have been to have a ghost that is forcibly, possessing you, being forcibly removed from you. Um, we can bed down here, or at least around here. I don't know if I'd rather.
Botek, what worries me a little bit is that weird fella earlier said that people escaped the house before, and getting the feeling this ruin will not stay a ruin forever.
You could be right. We should probably head out around a little bit of ways. Probably a lot more than a
Let's
little, but
Botek, let's do it like this. We make our way towards the village until sun starts to set, and if we're then still not anywhere close to it, we'll make camp wherever we are. If the village is reachable, we will push through to the village, but we should definitely get walking.
I can agree with that. Let's get out of here.
Let's move then.
I've had enough of trees for today. Let's go.
I do
All right.
miss civilization.
And maybe they even have tea in the village.
Your group, you can see.
I can imagine Gwen still having this residue from Rose being in her and still having this obsessive thing about tea parties.
Yeah, maybe we should have tea.
Like, why am I
I'm
so
sorry, I don't know what
obsessive
came
about
over me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Guys, I really want tea for some reason. I don't know what's wrong. I've never liked tea. I don't know if Gwen likes tea. That's part of her character now. Your group, so you can see the path that goes back to the main road that you had already previously taken, and that's where that seems to be the road that takes you to that town you had seen off in the distance. I can very quickly show you the landscape again. Actually, I think you guys
thought you
should
got it
already
pulled
have
up.
it in your. Yeah. You can see the landscape of the town that was off in the distance. Are you guys just gonna continue on the path as far as you can?
Yeah, until the sun starts setting.
Yep.
Okay. Your group continues onward. The ground is wet, slightly muddy from the rains that had been around the night before. Has it seemed to have dried up, but at least today seems to be relatively clear. Well, as clear as it's been since you got here. Again, you come to a large hill in the road that oversees this valley before you. The small town in the distance. The large, imposing castle on the plateau directly above it. You can't see any signs of life of any sort, but you can see fields of some sort next to the road, though you don't see any people manning them. Continuing your way in this muted light, you'll make it a good hour or so. I'm gonna make a few rolls here. Give me a second. Unhindered. You continue on, keeping your wits about you until the light that you assume comes from the sun somewhere, though it's hard to make out where from, begins to disappear. Kind of casting a glow, a purplish glow behind this large castle in the distance. Ever present. Almost watching. You guys gonna look for a place to stay, or are you guys gonna continue on?
How close are we to the village?
You have reached the bottom of the hills and entered this kind of field area full of farmlands. It is behind you is kind of an untamed wilderness kind of area, though there isn't as much trees. The tree line is kind of at the top of the ridge, and down below where you're at is kind of grassy hills, but not green, bright, vibrant grass. Kind of this pale, brownish, very lifeless looking grass that turns into these fields of some kind of vegetable, though not a very healthy looking field. Kind of dead as well. You can see off in the distance. Actually, make a perception check. Whoever wants to.
Okay.
Lol,
Yeah.
not gonna help. 6.
6.
I got a 18.
18 is good.
At least someone's paying attention.
11.
Woo! Gwyn rolled a 19.
Nice.
You do see houses, farmhouses of some sort. Not nearly as splendid as the manor you had seen before. Ramshackle, barely standing, rotted wood makes up some houses you see next to these fields. And you can see movement in the fields. Humanoid figures tilling the soil, but far off from the road. You guys continue onward? Or are you going to look for a
Yes.
place to camp, or...
Oh, or is it getting dark?
It is getting dark. The sun is disappearing behind the plateau. Pretty much your only marker right now is the giant castle illuminated in the very final light of the sun as it disappears behind the plateau.
Guys, do you want to keep pushing on, or should we rest here for the night? Guys, Thuxora turns around to see if anybody else is still alive.
You turn around and they're all
Everyone
dead.
is gone.
Everyone's gone.
Gwyn is having tea.
Yeah. Botek's sitting there thinking,
I mean,
might be good to bed down if you guys are.
not all of us are completely capable in the dark. I mean, I'm at home in it, but I know not all of us are.
Yep. Well, if you guys want to camp, I'm definitely in need of a rest, so we might as well.
Hey,
And then we should rest here for the night.
it's been a pretty tiring day. Let's take a break.
Okay.
By the way,
Um,
Wolford, question. Level up.
Yes. I'm gonna do it at the end of the session because
Okay.
leveling up in the middle of a session is a pain in the butt. So at the end of the session,
And
yes,
time
you will be
consuming.
level 3.
and time consuming.
Yes, it's very time consuming. So at the end of the session, yeah, you guys will be level 3.
It's clicking 2 buttons.
It's freaking cold in my room. I gotta put on like
You
another
would think.
jacket. Someone's got the air conditioning up to like maximum level. I am freezing. All right, so, are you guys gonna find a place to camp at the edge of like this grassy kind of at the bottom of the hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Easy enough. There's plenty of flat spaces. You won't have much protection from the rain or anything like that, but you can find a place to camp easy enough in this kind of grassy area at the bottom of these hills.
Oh, it's still raining.
It's not raining, but if it did rain, it does look constantly cloudy. Like you guys are just seeing nothing but clouds and this muted sunlight.
Well, I enjoy a cloudy day.
Yeah, your group manages to set up camp. No issues. The sun disappears, and eventually it becomes pitch darkness. It is extremely dark. There is no sign of the moon. Your group sets up a campfire. I assume you do. You guys, do you want to set up a campfire or yes, no? I guess you could not set up a campfire.
Guys, do you want to set up a campfire, or should we, out in the middle of a field, completely exposed to everything, not set up one? It's up to
It
you. I mean, the
depends.
fire could help those that can't see in the dark.
I can also make a rock glow.
I mean, yeah.
I think a smaller
that
light
could work
source
too.
would be preferable. I do not want a beacon drawing things to our spot.
It is also very damp and chilly. As the sun disappears behind the horizon, you notice that the temperature does drop quite a few degrees.
Okay. I think a fire might be in order.
Okay. You guys,
Gonna make a small fire, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
you manage to gather enough wood from a few nearby trees and start up a very small fire. It crackles against the darkness. After an hour or so, you see it. Moonlight on the horizon as the moon begins to rise in the sky. Do you guys want to do anything before you go to bed?
I would like to try and read that document.
Okay. Standing around the campfire, Botak, you're gonna pull out the which document? The official one or the letter?
The official one.
The official one. Okay. You pull out this document and glance at it. It seems to be some sort of deed to a property. Very official looking wording. The stamp you had seen before, the stamp of some bat-like creature on front of it. It seems to be a deed to a windmill of some sort. You see a picture of it. and a signed will at the bottom, designating the Bone Grinder Mill to whoever has been given this document. It gives you a location of the mill, somewhere in the mountains east of some place called Valaki, though it is vague.
Oh.
All other family property in this will attached to this document is bequeathed to Rosevalda and Thornbolt Durst in the event of their parents' deaths.
Okay. Well. Hey guys, I own a windmill.
Nice. Profitable trip so far. See, nothing bad happens here.
Lothic just glares at her and just like,
What? Lotek, could you please elaborate?
Yeah, okay, so according to this official document with this very weird looking man bat symbol here for officially, like, it looks like the official thing about this area. It says that whoever so owns this piece of document paper, here, owns a windmill, the Bone Grinder Windmill, intimidating name there, out in some place called Valaki.
Okay. Maybe that's a good base of operations for us. I mean, we'll need to ask the locals where exactly it is, but
Maybe
I'm sure we can kick the door with this document and just be like, "Hey, this fine gentleman here owns this place now. Congratulations, you've been evicted."
No, congratulations, you work for me. It's a windmill, right?
True. But yeah, maybe we should actually try to find that place at some point.
Yeah, we'll just yeah. Well, and apparently from what it says, all of the property goes to Rose and Thorn. So that's about all the document says. Shows a brief, like, I would say like a rough location, but it doesn't tell me which direction Valaki is. So yeah, we're gonna, when we get to town, we can ask
Maybe we should
about where
inquire
that
at that
is.
castle.
You know, based on our new friend in white, I wouldn't put it past the people with eyes are probably up in that castle.
That would be my thought. And if we're not overtly dead yet, and rather being tested, then I imagine walking in with that document may give us at least a little bit of leverage to get some information. That is, if they don't kill us all on sight.
Which is a thing that sometimes happens.
Well, unfortunately, I don't really think we have much other choice.
Well, I think that's. I'm just gonna stuff this in my backpack for now. Keep that safe.
Yes, you keep that safe. Lily is going to very, very carefully have
What's your
a
guys'
quick
passive perception? 14, you
14.
said?
14.
Yeah.
Check. Okay, well, they rolled pretty shitty on stealth. You guys notice at the top of the tree line, the hill just above you, caught by the moonlight. Gleaming eyes suddenly flash in the darkness. Looking down on you.
Guys,
They disappear
we
just as
got
quickly.
company.
Not surprising. Lily's just gonna sigh and wave.
Would you like to maybe talk to us?
You wait for a couple seconds. No response. The eyes are gone.
Oh well. Apparently these woods have eyes.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Indeed. She is going to try and look through very, very carefully. Have a good look at the book and see what it is.
You look through the strange book with the... Barely you can make out this strange skull symbol on the back of the binding, though it is not nearly as apparent as it was when it was in the house. The pages are darkened, crumbled, and hard to read. You go through them, and it seems to be some sort of ritual book. The rituals, they're hard to actually roll Arcana for me.
When Thuxora sees that she has the book open, and she will join her.
Okay, you're kind of like reading over her shoulder.
20,
Okay.
24, natural 20.
Oh dang! All right.
Ooh.
Wow, nat 20, a crit roll.
Yeah. It's bound to get one at some point. And it's never in combat. It's always in situations like this.
You see that these you kind of look at these rituals, and you're pretty well versed in magic, especially rituals of a darker nature in this kind of thing. They're pretty common superstitious stuff. Things that people will like get the hand of a peasant and bring it to your dark god, and they will grant upon you powers. Most of it is entirely bupkis. It is silly, superstitious stuff that would never...
Wives' tales.
Exactly. Wives'
Old
tales
wives'
that you've
tales.
seen time and time again. However, you do glean a bit of information from it. It's to a specific power. They constantly reference something called the Dark Powers in this book. Whatever they're trying to appease. And a name pops up several times. Though it's hard to see and read between these pages, but you rolled amazing. You rolled a crit on your Arcana. You see the name Osibus pop up here and there. And something known as the Cult of Osibus. Though it's hard to make out what their distinction is with the amount of dilapidation that has covered these pages. And that's pretty much all the information you can glean from it. Oh, also, you do see that symbol, that skull symbol. Roll an intelligence check.
Yeah.
Just a basic, just a straight up intelligence check.
Where's my target? 16.
16. You recognize the symbol as the same symbols that had been tattooed on the hands of the man you had talked to earlier.
Oh. You see this, Sora? Interesting.
I see a symbol. It's a skull.
Have you ever heard of Osibus?
Waffles, has Thurxara ever heard of Osiris?
Roll a history check, actually.
Okay. And that is a 15.
15. The name. You clutch your head all of a sudden. You kind of feel like this pain as you try and remember something. A name you had heard before. Brief images of people dressed in this same kind of attire you had seen that man dressed in appear briefly, just kind of flash, poof, and they're gone in an instant, and you can't seem to hold on to the picture or the image or the thoughts, and they vanish just as suddenly.
It's... The name rings some bell. I just can't really grasp it. I'm sorry. It's...
Well, this symbol is the same that he had on his hands. I recognize it, but I've never heard of this cult. Most of what's in this book is utter nonsense. But there are some... It's strange.
Wait, Lily. Is that a recipe for a toad leg stew?
Oh,
It's... Oh, I see. It's a love potion. I see.
Yes, they class it as a love potion. Oh, I see you've seen things like this before.
I mean, the stew is actually not bad if you ever tried it, but...
Very true, but it's magical abilities are next to none. She passes the book over and lets Zora have a look through it if she wants to, and makes mental notes of everything she's seen.
Okay.
Yeah, Thurxara is gonna have another look over it. See if she recognizes everything other than multitude of recipes for all kinds of delicacies from foreign countries that have been said to have any magical...
It is all that stuff. You do notice that a lot of these rituals are almost entirely dedicated to receiving a boon from the dark powers of some sort. Usually something that has to be sacrificed.
Oh.
If you're doing another pour over it, actually, Thurxara, you roll an Arcana check for me. Excuse me, sorry.
That is a 16.
One passage that stands out to you, something that kind of you make a connection real quick. A passage about devouring the flesh of the innocent to gain the boons of the dark powers. One that will grant you eternal life. Though at great costs.
Look, there's a ritual for immortality in here. All you need to do is eat other people.
Fucking vampires. So maybe the rumors were true. And she kind of looks off towards the village, and she just kind of gets lost in her own thoughts for a minute.
I'm actually more thinking because, thesis, the big blob in the basement. I've never seen anything like that before. I've never heard of anything like that being natural. I'm relatively certain that that thing was man-made in one way or another, and I'm getting the feeling that it might have been the outcome of some weird ritual.
I would not be
Um,
surprised.
Especially with what they were saying down there. Somebody has to die, blah blah. Ancient and the land, blah blah. What if that thing, that abomination, was actually the result of this ritual?
That could be likely.
Then I'd say we probably shouldn't do it anytime soon. We killed
Yeah,
one, we don't want to face another.
Let's not eat Botek. I agree with that.
Scratch eating each other off the list.
Look, I may be small and.
Yeah, he doesn't have much meat on him. He's a gnome, guys.
It's very true. Wouldn't be very.
You wouldn't get
filling
much
at all.
sustenance.
I may be
Gwyn, on the
small,
other
but I can
hand, is
probably
a
pack more of a
large
punch than any of
humanoid
you.
creature.
Gwyn's
Let's
got
not
cake.
eat Gwyn either.
Gwyn's
I
got
don't-
cake, but we're
I
not
don't
gonna eat
taste
Oh my
very
god,
well,
could you
Gwyn
imagine
says.
next week Tama comes back and we're just like, Tama, we're very sorry, but we ate Gwyn.
I'm sorry, but we ate you.
Oh, she'd be so pissed.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do before you go to bed?
Not really.
Don't think I've got anything.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
So let's set up the watch.
Yeah. Who wants to keep a watch?
I'll go first. Lily will take first watch.
Okay. Roll perception check for me.
Oh, not off the table, dice. Stay on the table. That'd be really great. 22.
22. Lily, as you're watching out over the night, and you notice the others go to sleep, the moon rises even higher in the sky, washing the land in a pale white light, bouncing off of clouds of fog rolling over these fields in the distance. It's almost pretty, if not for the lifeless vegetation of the fields and the grass that hang over the land. The moonlight almost seems brighter than the sunlight had earlier. It is large. And as the moon slowly creeps over the land, you notice the moon is much bigger than it has ever been before. It is almost a beautiful sight. Turning back to the trees that you had seen the eyes before, you quickly move your head and you see them again. These eyes flash with the light of the moon as it passes over them, and they're gone just as quickly. You see a very brief flash of fur illuminated by the moonlight as whatever this is darts behind the tree line once again. Other than that, your watch is very illuminated and pretty, but other than that, nothing else happens.
Please. She will wake up whoever is taking second watch.
I think Thuxora is gonna take second watch.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Well, Tech will take the last watch.
Okay.
That is a 23.
That's a pretty good perception check. What's the stealth roll? That is not good. Again, you see the lights because this thing cannot hide for crap. You see the lights from the eyes, but this time it is standing at the top of the hill. It is a large wolf, much bigger than a normal-sized wolf, watching you from the top of the hill. It stares down at you. Do you do anything?
Is there anything other that is unusual about, or other
Massive size.
brain English, but other than massive, nothing unusual.
It is a large gray wolf. It seems to be watching you with an intent. It locks a gaze with you as your eye contact meets its, and it kind of seems to have an intelligence to it.
Okay, Thaxara is gonna look at it and basically hold out her hand with the palm upwards towards this wolf, just be like, come here, little pupper.
The wolf stays in its spot. It doesn't seem to budge. Just watches, unmoving, unflinching, but for a small movement of its tail. After a good 5-10 minutes, it turns around and disappears back behind the tree line.
Okay. What a majestic animal. I think I need to write a song about it.
You continue the rest of your watch writing a song about the majestic animal, which you play suddenly. No, I'm just kidding.
Suddenly there is a stage.
Oh, wolves, they are so beautiful. No, nothing else happens for the rest of your watch. And that's pretty much it.
Bountack! It's your turn!
Bojack!
Is it?
Yep.
Only 3 watches? Okay.
So we need
Yeah,
4
three.
watches, don't we?
3 watches is all you need.
Oh, okay.
You all have to be
If you
asleep.
say so.
Yeah. You got 3 watches is it.
3
mean,
watches,
technically
2
Gwen is
hours
there also.
each. Okay. Boo-da-boo-da-boo. No, don't need to show. Just a normal shake would do good. Alright. I get up.
Oh, and Botak, Thuxora points at the trees where she saw the wolf last. Have an eye on the tree line. There was a pretty big wolf there. It didn't seem to want to eat us, but it also didn't want to cuddle, so yeah. Just have an eye on it.
I'm well, yeah, but the last thing I know, a wolf of any kind probably won't want to cuddle with something that it's completely unfamiliar with. Just saying,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, just don't just run at it and kill it if you see it, because it did not
course not.
necessarily seem hostile either.
If it's not going to attack me, no reason to attack it, right?
Welcome, Janoko. Thank you
simple.
for the raid. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons Curse of Strahd right now. Welcome.
Wait,
Hi,
no,
Noko.
we're not waffles. We're playing Dungeons and Breakfast.
Oh, that's right. Dungeons and Breakfast Curse of Strahd. I'm sorry. There's no dragons, only breakfast.
Mhm.
Dungeons and Dragon Breakfast.
Hi, Noko.
I hope you're doing good. I hope your stream was good. Oh man, Noko, I haven't seen one of your streams in a while.
That's true.
I hope it was
Well,
nice.
I have, but
Okay,
yeah, but that's just a take watch.
Botak, it is now your turn for a watch. Roll perception check.
Yeesh. Perception. Let's go. That's gonna be a solid 10.
A 10?
Yep.
The night is beautiful, covered by the moonlight of the enlarged moon. But you don't see anything out of place, anything strange. The fog drifts over the land, lit by the moon, covering these fields. It's a nice view, but nothing threatening seems to show itself. Your watch is pretty uninterrupted, pretty boring. There isn't much to it.
Nothing about all the plans. Everything is all cool. So Botek's just gonna softly, whistle a little bit. Just not loud enough to like wake anybody up. But, like, just keep himself occupied a little bit.
Okay. You do a little soft whistle. Keep yourself occupied. Start humming some hymns that you know
Hey.
of your god. Poking the fire a little bit. Slowly, as you're keeping watch, the moon disappears behind the horizon. It seems to keep light over the area as the light from the sun begins to show up on the other side, and you see this kind of clash of lights between this bright light from this large moon kind of overpowers the sun that seems to be rising over the horizon, keeping the land like this palish color. The sun kind of brings a little bit of red to it, but it is still covered in these muted clouds. And this cloud cover over the entire night, though you could see the moon over the night, as soon as the sun started rising, you noticed the clouds started to fill the sky, thicker and heavier, blotting out any of the light from reaching you.
Well, no warmth from my skin from the sun, and I'm kind of used to that. Being down in the deep caves, it doesn't really bother me. So, no biggie for me.
Yeah, you're used to the darkness. You're used to the lightlessness of the dark caves of the Underdark. So it's not much new to you. The rest of you, as morning hits, nothing seeming to have interrupted your sleep. Wake up feeling rested, and you got your long rest. Long rest accomplished.
Yay!
The light of the morning sun is muted, and you still see the vestiges of the moonlight still not entirely gone from last night.
Sorry, I was having connection problems. Okay.
No worries.
Oh,
I've got to go to the bathroom, actually. I will be right
go
back.
go right ahead.
Give me a second. We're going to BRB for a second, guys. I'm sorry. I have to go to the bathroom super bad. And I've had to for a little bit. So I'm gonna stop for a brief second, only a minute.
As we all know, BRB stands for bathroom break.
Yes. Bathroom break. Exactly. All right. BRB, guys.
I could probably use a bathroom break too. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Waffles. I've just been reading a little bit of D&D lore about Limbo, because when you said, Botek is used to not having a sun, my brain raised the question, is there a sun in Limbo? And
Sometimes.
then I started learning about some of the places in Limbo. Did you know that there is a giant turtle-sized shaped castle, or a giant
Yep.
island-sized turtle that swims through a lake full of enchanted milk?
Yep, Limbo is a fun place.
Ooh,
Maybe that's where
I
you
wanna
guys
go
are.
there.
Maybe you guys are in Limbo.
we pour some chocolate powder in there. We got ourselves a lake of chocolate milk.
Yeah, you
This
got a
would be
lake of
the best
chocolate
adventure
milk?
ever.
Man, we can't wait till you guys hit that part of the campaign. The chocolate milk
Yeah.
lake.
Hell yeah. I will claim ownership
You
of it.
got wolves, vampires,
No one
ghosts, and
fall in and get
chocolate
sucked
milk
up into
lake.
the pipes, because that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Oh man, that sounds tasty. I could use a chocolate milk lake right now.
Sounds
Oh,
really
hell
good.
I'm a hungry boy.
But yeah, going through the wiki, I don't think there's a sun in Limbo.
Limbo is weird. Limbo is a land that doesn't make much sense. But you wouldn't know, because you are not, though you are a Gith, you don't have any memories of that.
True.
So you're not even sure if you came from.
anything comes close, then it would be Agni's sphere.
Yes,
Because Agni is apparently riding around a giant spear of flame.
you come from a land
Because
of
why the hell
flame.
not?
I will. By the way, I was thinking of this. The note that you got, the letter, the one that was sealed, is separate from the official document that you read. It's a completely different object.
We haven't checked it out yet.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that and weren't just like, okay. But yeah, you guys, the morning comes, as strangely muted as the light is of the sun. Still, the pale moonlight seems to be almost a bigger part of the horizon than the sunlight, even though the moon isn't visible anymore.
You know, camping on the great outdoors, the nice stars in the sky, a nice big moon. Feels good. Can't camp out too much in the underdark. It's not the safest place to do so.
Instead of
So-
morning birds, out in the field that you see directly across from your camp, you see a flock of ravens bouncing around in the field, picking at worms and other creatures that might be in the dirt. They caw loudly. Ah! Ah! A little bit of departure from the morning birds you generally hear. But other than that, the morning seems to be relatively peaceful.
Can't tell if that's a dog or a seagull.
It's a seagull. It's just, you're right next to the ocean.
I kid you not. We are 20 minutes from the ocean in like every direction. 4 a.m. until like the middle of the day. Every day.
Just seagulls.
Seagulls, man.
Dude, seagulls are evil.
Seagulls are
evil.
evil.
You should hear
And
the
they
ones
fucking
in New
laugh
Zealand.
at you. They steal your chips and then they laugh at you.
I remember back when I was in 5th or 6th grade, we did a trip to the North Sea, and one of my classmates actually got attacked by a seagull.
Oh,
See?
Vicious
Seagulls are
bastard.
evil.
like attacked, like straight on, like the seagull like dived at them and was like, I'm gonna
It
get you.
dived at him, it took his foot, and it almost ripped one of his fingers off in the process.
Jeez.
Yep. When I was like 5 or so, apparently I had like a burger from Burger King or something, and we were out in town and had it split up, and it just dive bombed.
Mhm.
I was like, I'm having that.
They
Yeah,
do
they're
that.
brutal.
Anyway,
Seagulls are evil.
Like,
We
my
all
dad
know.
was eating like shellfish in Japan, or not in Japan, in New Zealand. Threw out a bunch of shellfish on the beach, and we recorded him getting attacked by, I want to say, hundreds of seagulls.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
he
no.
like just turned around and spread his arms out wide, and he was like, "I am the Lord of the Seagulls." It was so funny. It was like a scene from like, you ever seen the movie Birds?
Mhm.
Oh, it was like a scene. It was like a horror movie where just birds were
Well,
attacking, but they
here's-
weren't like
here's the-
attacking him. They were just attacking the shells.
Here's the important question, though: was he covered in bird shit afterwards?
I don't know. I don't think so. If he was, he hid it from us pretty well.
Yeah, then he was very, very lucky.
He was he was covered in feathers though, I'll tell you that much. All right, so you guys, hold on, give me a second. What do you guys want to do?
keep walking to the village?
Right.
You think we're gonna strike camp and head for the village?
Simple enough.
Yeah.
You guys continue through these fields. You do spot off in the distance, after you had already seen them, these figures, dark silhouetted, against this pale light, working these fields, these old, ramshackle buildings that maybe make for farmhouses, standing at far edges of this town. Oh, let me make a roll really quick.
Hey, I wonder if this place is lucky. Maybe there's a window near you.
Hold on, let me check something because I rolled something.
Oh.
There we go. What is... Okay, so I have to roll again.
Oh. I don't like that face. I think we're dead, guys.
Suddenly, 30 werewolves!
Oh no, what's gonna happen, Waffles?
God. Go on, hit us with it, Waffles.
Fuck!
You guys worry so much.
Alright, that's what I rolled. We're going with it. Your group travels along. Though it hasn't rained for a day, the dew from the night and the fog creeping over the land makes the road just as muddy as it ever was. And you kind of, slosh through it the best you can. And as you look around, there's nothing but silence and the sound of your packs and your boots passing through the mud. You see the figures off in the distance, and the pale moonlight does dissipate over time, and the sun comes up over the horizon, filling the land with this strange, muted light through the clouds. Almost like moonlight. Maybe a little more color to it, but very muted. Just as it was before. As your group travels along, you suddenly feel a very heavy chill as a wind blows through the valley at an intense speed, picking up. Your clothes begin to flap and flutter in the wind, and the fog kind of begins to swirl around and move in random directions carried by this wind. And you freeze for a moment. You get the feeling of being watched. You turn around to see a large figure standing behind you. Flesh falling off of it. Peeled off in places, missing in places. A very heavy armor attached to this creature, though missing in places and heavily rusted. This thing is old and undead. As the mist flows past it, it disappears into the fog for a moment. And then the wind blows the fog farther. And as it does, you see it even closer than before. It drags behind it a large, heavy, massive sword. A sword that most humans wouldn't be able to swing. It has no expression on its face, but for a gaze intent upon you. Empty sockets where its eyes should be, mouth open. Jagged teeth line its jaw. It moves towards you. It is huge. It is intimidating. This is a 10-foot tall humanoid creature. What do you guys do?
I would say we move away from it as quickly as we can, following the road.
Lily
Or
just
is it
feel
standing
the
between us
stairs.
and the village?
Fight or flight? Flight?
Oh, I'm sorry. Not 10 feet. 8 feet. Sorry. 10 feet is a little big, but it is about 8 feet tall. It is the size of a very large human. All right, you guys are booking it?
Shall we run?
Yep.
All right, you guys turn around and begin speeding the other direction against the wind, which blows against you. The heavy gusts of wind blast against your clothes, and your clothes almost act like a parachute, pulling you backwards as you try and run against it. I want all of you to roll athletics checks for me. Wind sound effects, there you go.
Oh, thank the goddess I rolled high. 18.
All right, we got 18.
Thankfully I rolled a 19.
Hey,
We're straight
Gwyn
to the
rolled.
minus one.
Gwyn rolled pretty well. Gwyn rolled 20.
Yeah, so that's a 4.
Oh no! Uh-oh! And what did Thrixora roll?
A 10.
You rolled a 10? Alright. Well, your group rolled an equal amount of successes to failures, which is passing. So, Gwyn is pretty tough and able to get through pretty rough conditions, and is pretty used to heavy travel. And she sees that Botak is struggling behind her to hold up against this wind. And she grabs onto him and tries to pull him forward, helping him along. Same thing with you, Lily. You somehow manage to persevere in this wind, having gotten a really good night's sleep, and you kind of grab onto Thrixora as this debris begins blowing in your guys' faces, and you hold on to each other and struggle on ahead against this wind, which is getting heavier and heavier. It is insanely heavy wind. But you manage to continue onwards. And looking behind you, you see this creature drags this sword, ever approaching.
Maybe we could take it, guys, if it's that slow. Just saying.
It loses itself in the mist as it blows past. And more wind blows the mist across the road. And as it does, you see it suddenly much closer than it was before. The mist having masked its movements somehow. You are not too far from the village. And you continue to push against this wind. Half an hour goes by as you continue to struggle and move away from this creature, whatever it is. It pursues you, though not as fast as you are. You are gaining ground on it. But the wind is unrelenting. Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh no, it's a 6.
I got a 13.
I have a 16.
You got a 16. All right. Everybody but Lily is fine. Lily, you're going to suffer another point of exhaustion.
Fuck's sake.
I'm sorry. I rolled this encounter and I was
Poor-
not. I rolled a freaking 20.
I mean, just we're at literally full health. We could probably take the thing. Everyone wants to run away, and now Lily has the exhaustion.
Okay. So you
I
guys
know running
continue
was a good
on.
idea, but-
You continue onward and you move another half hour. You are at the edge of this town. The buildings begin to almost loom over the surrounding lands. They are much taller than your average building height. Seems to be some strange design. They are designed as these very tall row houses in a unwalled sort of village. Give me 1 second.
You know, what happens when that thing catches up to the village? Is it just gonna start attacking the people here?
As you approach the village, you see lights inside of some of the buildings. But as you get closer, the lights flicker off. Curtains are drawn. The wind begins to die down. As you reach the edges of this town, finding that the buildings block the wind slightly, you manage to get a moment of fresh air, of breath as you stop and turn around and look. The creature doesn't follow you. It seems to have disappeared. The fog carries over the road and dissipates. Still no creature. You wait for 5 minutes or so. 10 minutes. Nothing. Seems to have stopped following you.
Seems there may be some sort of safety within this village, at least.
Maybe a little. Did you see how big that sword was?
I was trying not to think too much about it.
If that thing's out there roaming the grounds, though, somewhere out there in the plains,
Sugar redeemed
people-
drinky. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
we're all redeeming drinkies, okay? If we're all gonna be roaming around out there, what's gonna happen when one of the people in the village are out maybe trying to get one of the crops and that thing just appears behind them?
That's a good point. Well, if it's been around this area before, then maybe someone in this village can tell us something about it. Maybe we could hunt it on our terms as opposed to being hunted.
Waffles,
Yes.
how much do we know about the nature of revenants?
Roll religion.
Religion, okay. Okay, that's not gonna be a good roll. I rolled 1.
You're not very familiar with the undead. It's not your
Plus
area
3.
of
It's a
expertise.
4. It's a 4 total.
Yeah, it's
Neutral
you're
one.
not sure. You're not entirely familiar with undead and their nature.
Out of character question, is my assumption that we are currently facing a revenant correct?
Out of character, maybe.
We're so fucked, guys.
It'd be fine.
Chachi, that thing with its if it's revenant, it will just out heal everything that we throw at it.
Botac roll
passive.
religion.
Okay.
You're a paladin. With advantage because you're a
Seeing
paladin.
how I'm part cleric.
Oh, okay.
You are part cleric, but you're not that familiar with undead
Wow.
and their... Huh?
Even with
I am more
advantage,
demon-based.
I have a 9.
Ooh.
Even with advantage, you have a 9. Maybe it's a revenant. You're not sure. You've never actually come across one before. You know they exist.
I never fought one. I don't know.
You know that they are dangerous as hell, and they are bloodthirsty hunters bent on destruction. But whether or not that was a revenant, you couldn't say for certain. However, it doesn't seem to have followed you into the village for now. And you kind of turn back, and now you can actually get a grasp on where you are now that you're not fighting this wind, which has slowly died down. It's almost like the wind was localized to your area. Very strange and unnatural stillness seems to be around you. You look at these buildings that line this village. They are old, dilapidated, tall row houses. Ever present above you, you look up. Besides this giant plateau that rises, seeing it in the distance is one thing, but seeing it directly before you, rising up out of the fog, this massive plateau, hundreds of feet above the village, gazes down upon it, this huge castle with spiring towers looming over the village. The dull muted light of the sun almost casting a shadow over this place. You don't see a hint of life, people moving, things you would normally see in a village. It is quiet. And you can hear, just barely, the sound of doors closing, shutters shutting. You look and glance into a window nearby. One of the drapes closes, curtains blocking your view of the inside of the house.
Hmm. Not a not a visitor welcoming type of place, is it?
Well, I mean, with the Inquisition just around the corner, I'm not surprised they're wary of strangers. Maybe we can find someone willing to talk.
I'm going to take you guys to a map.
Ooh.
A map of the village that you find yourselves in. I'm just going to show you the whole map and just assume that parts you haven't seen, your characters haven't seen yet. You can explore as you wish. So I'm going to show you the map. Boop.
Whoa. What exactly are we on the map?
You guys are right over here. Let me drag I need to get a token of one of you and put it on the map. I will just drag a token of Botak, I guess. Give me a second. Nope, that's the monster from the dungeon. I don't want that token. You guys are now the monster from the dungeon.
Suddenly, the monster shows up in the middle
Blah,
of the
blah, blah,
village.
blah, blah. Okay, your group is right there.
Look, I'm actual size.
I'm huge! Hooray! Look at how big I am! All right, what do you guys want to do? This is a village. It doesn't seem like there is anybody directly available to talk to or see or anything like that. Seems to be just a empty village.
Quick thing. Take a look at time.
It is getting pretty late. You guys want to stop here for the night?
That's what
I think this is a good cutoff point. Yeah.
Indian area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This seems like a
it's
good.
great.
I don't want to continue too far without Tama, anyways. So we will stop here for the night. This seems like a really good cutoff point. Thank you for reminding me, Chachi. That's a good idea. And
We'll just play forever.
we will play forever.
We'll play all night long until Tama wakes up.
Forever. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you guys wow, I didn't expect to roll that encounter. That is something I wasn't expecting to roll. Okay, well, that's interesting.
It is in
So,
Buck's
Waffle's
mind that we
question,
could have
how bad
taken it.
is it?
Oh, it's pretty bad.
Wait
You
a
guys
second,
made I will say you guys probably made the right choice.
Oh.
I mean,
not to give
we
away
could
too
have
much
taken
if we're
information.
making the assumption that it is a revenant just to fill you guys in, revenants are very nasty things that you usually fight in the late mid to end game of a D&D campaign. And these things, they have some very nasty features. For example, that they just casually regenerate 10 HP every round, or that even if you kill them, they will come back in another body, and stuff like that. So, very funny fellas to mess with.
Yeah, except for it takes at time hours to find a new body for it to in-host. So we could be wherever from then on outward. So it wouldn't matter too much if we did fight it and win.
The dice were not happy with you guys.
It's just,
Anyways,
just a little complicated when they're directly next to a relatively central hub point like this village, I would assume. Because then you sooner or later will show up there again.
yeah, so you guys actually did. I'm super glad you guys you brought Rose and Thorn back and buried them. Oh, that was super nice. And yeah, that definitely helped you guys a lot with that whole encounter and stuff like that. I was pleasantly surprised that that worked out as well as it did.
I mean, one of the Xora's traits is that she is, how is it described? Yeah, one of her ideals is a dignity. The dead and their belongings deserve to be treated with respect, and that also includes
Yeah.
bringing a dead child into its grave.
Includes
Instead of
bringing a
just
dead
having it-
child to its grave. Right, exactly.
Instead of just having it lay around in the child's bed.
No, I mean that was pretty intuitive of you guys.
Awesome.
So you guys managed to get off with the easy, you went through the easy route. Let's just say that much.
Anyways,
Yeah,
yay, we're level
that's a
3.
good idea.
Yeah, and you guys are level 3. Hooray! You guys get to pick all your specialties and stuff like that. Except for you, Lily. You started out as your specialty, so you just get to be level
I
3.
get what I get, but you know
Yeah.
what I do get? Fucking meta magic. Finally.
Woo! Yeah, you get your meta magic. Yeah,
Not
that's the
many
best
points,
part.
but I got
Oh,
meta magic.
I'll let
finally.
Tama know that Gwyn's level 3 as well. Gets to choose their
Once in a
fighter.
blue moon, I'll be
fighter
able
type.
to do one extra thing.
Yeah, so you guys are in the main area now. It's open world from here, guys. It
Ooh,
is
second level
just
spell slots too.
wherever you guys want to go. You guys want to go fuck off into the woods over there, you can do that. It's all up to you from here on out. So I foresee a really fun campaign. That first house was kind of like the tutorial place for everybody. So you guys, could get the hang of playing together and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So I think it worked out really nicely, and I'm super happy to see that nobody died. My favorite
Yeah.
part, nobody died. I have mixed feelings as a DM. Damn it, nobody died, but thank God nobody died. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. You guys role played really nicely too. I liked some of your role play. That was really cool. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. When's next week?
Ooh.
7 days from now.
All right. Who do you guys want to
I
raid? You
have
guys
2
want to raid somebody?
expertises now.
Woo!
So I have a thing, guys. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to hold off for about 10 minutes, I'm going to be stopping my stream and starting up another one. I am
Okay.
having a second stream today. I'm gonna have more fun times in Vampire. I'm
Okay.
kind of a little addicted to it.
Playing more Vampire. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'll do my level up during the week and have that.
So you're gonna keep
just-
streaming then?
Yeah.
Okay.
But hold on. But I'm going to actually end my stream. That way, the VOD is saved as Curse of Strahd and start up a new one.
Okay. All right.
You should
oh.
actually also just be able to, in your dashboard, add a stream marker, I think, and that should cut it up as well.
I mean, I could do that, but I need to end stream because I'm also going to get food real quick. And, it'll be about
Food time.
5-10 minutes, because hungry.
Cause hunger.
Cool.
Well, if you want to turn off your stream and then turn on the starting soon or something like that, we will raid you. Yeah. Cause
Okay.
Yeah. If that's okay.
I'll
with
do
you.
that. Just give me about five minutes or so.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
no,
Gotcha.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes and should be fine. I'll have starting up soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the this part of the stream today, and I will see you all in about 5 minutes or so when I get all my stuff.
Just pop back in chat as soon as your stream is back up, so we know when to raid you. As soon as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All on deaf and when I'm good to go.
Okay. Bye, everybody, in Chachi's stream. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed. I'm so glad you guys did the good route. You saved Rose and Thorn, everything worked out for everybody. Oh, I'm super happy that you guys decided to do that. That makes me. I was like, oh no, what if they just jump out of the building and don't do anything with Rose and Thorn? Oh, they're gonna. But no, you guys found the cool extra stuff. The dungeon was it was a little bit of a slog towards the dungeon, the basement part, and stuff like that. But I think it was a good time, nonetheless.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and I really liked the roleplay you guys did afterwards.
We made it out with everyone alive.
Yeah,
Wow.
you guys got to meet
Yeah.
Salask the Undying. He's a cool guy. You guys just need to get to know him, I think. Just get to know him a little better. You'd be best friends before you know it.
Lily's instinct is just to like flirt with him, but then her instinct is to flirt with everyone. So
To flirt with Salask the Undying.
I feel like I need to add like a custom type of ability roll for charisma for her that is just roll seduction.
Roll seduction ability.
This is like her entire thing. Can I just like roll seduction?
Roll for sexy time. Roll for sexy.
Well, it's slightly different to persuasion, isn't it?
Yeah, a
Persuasion
whole
with a
different like
twist.
modifier. Roll sexy modifier.
Roll sexy.
It's
roll
not
for
even based on your charisma. It's just based on your I don't know, your appearance.
sexy.
Doesn't even have anything to do with any of your stats. It's just how sexy are you. Roll. No, that was pretty fun.
Ooh, I actually noticed with my level 3 level up, I actually gained another spell. Gives the ripe psionics. Gives me shield. That's cool.
That's pretty handy. Yeah. No, you guys will have some crazy yeah, think about your options for level 3 because that's your big level up. Like that's where you decide your paths and all that stuff. Especially, yeah, just your bard school, your meta magic.
I'm probably gonna go with the School of Lore because well, it's the School of Lore.
Yeah.
Anyways, did Chachi already say that he's ready?
I don't know. I don't think so. Did he?
Chachi!
No, I think Chachi's still getting
Old
food.
Master Shush.
I want to rate him, but if he takes too long, we might just have to raid somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled pretty.
Oh yeah,
I
Waffles.
rolled interesting on the random encounter table.
Waffles,
you
I
guys
just
might have
actually
noticed.
saw. I just actually saw that I might have done an oopsie. I was under the impression that bards get the third cantrip at level 3 instead they get it on level 4.
Oh,
Would you still be cool with me switching out message for Vicious Mockery so I don't have to do the wall staring RP bard anymore?
that's fine. Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
Okay.
You are okay. We'll have to, because, yeah, I mean,
I'll
it's
just bring the
not
message back
exciting
in at
if
level
you,
4
if you
then.
don't have any ranged options for your character and you're just sitting there staring. You can always, by the way, you can always take the help action in combat, which is distracting an enemy so that somebody else takes an advantage on their attack for their next attack. So that is a thing you can do in combat. Is that action? So you always have that option if you need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't want you staring at the wall constantly and being like, well, I guess I'll be over here. Vicious Mockery is like the spell for a bard. It's very important to have Vicious Mockery on a bard. I think it's like the cantrip to have. It is very good. It's pretty much auto take on bards pretty much. So I'm totally okay with you having Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
Well,
No, I just need to pick more spells because bards poop at bards poop spell slots at you.
bards poop spell slots at you. Quote
mean, I
deadly.
have
Deadly, can you add
four-
that to my quotes in my chat?
Okay.
Bard's poop spell slots at you. Quote deadly donor. Dungeons and Dragons.
You know, I mean, I have 4 first level, 2 second
Beautiful.
level slots, and I'm just like, yay, more stuff, and it's not gonna get any better anytime soon.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, we might have another player joining us later on. Maybe we'll see when they join, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have our 5th player on in 2 weeks. So that would be
Yep.
pretty awesome. So
On
look forward to
20th.
that. The 28th.
I'm live again, guys.
Okay, Chachi.
Okay.
Have fun and have a good night, guys. I'll see you later.
Okay, have a good one. Enjoy Vampire.
Peace.
Have
Have
fun,
fun.
Chachi.
All right, we'll raid Chachi.
By the way, chat,
Eat.
I want to show you something funny. If I am in my dashboard and if I click on raid channel, I just need to type in grandma, and it already gives me Chachi's stream.
Grandma?
God
Yep.
damn it, Deadly.
Why is
God,
Chachi grandma?
mother- Stop
Because he's
this.
grandma Starshash.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
My bad.
Grandma what?
You're all evil.
Grandma Stare
Bye.
Chachi.
Stare
You're
Chachi?
mean. Everyone's mean to me.
All right, I'm gonna raid Chachi. Thank you guys. I will see you on next Tuesday. I might be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll have to double check. I will probably
So the
stream
session
tomorrow. if I can.
waffles was fun.
Yeah. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you for hanging out. Okay. Bye, guys. Enjoy Chachi's vampire stream.